Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Marianne Bustede, head of Lowell High School for the graduating class of 2020. On behalf of the graduating class of 2020, the faculty, the staff, and the administration of Lowell High School, I welcome you, the parents, relatives, friends, all those watching at home at this time of celebration. This is a very special event, and we ask for your cooperation in ensuring that the ceremony goes smoothly. Please be respectful of your fellow guests, follow safety guidelines, and remain in your seats, following social distancing guidelines. Please remain quiet during the speeches and hold your applause until after the reading of all the graduate names. We ask that you refrain from using horns and other loud devices so that each graduate's name is heard by everyone. At this time, please ensure that your cell phones are silenced. We realize that taking pictures is very important at graduation, so we do have a professional photographer taking pictures. We respectfully ask that you do not leave your seats or block the view of other guests. The only other person you'll see taking pictures in and around the park is the Lowell Sun photographers. At the end of the event, for your safety and the safety of our graduates, please exit the ballpark immediately so we can prepare for the next graduation. We will begin momentarily. I ask you, when the graduates start marching in, that you please stand and clap for our graduates as they begin processing into the park. They certainly have earned this moment. Thank you. Thank you, graduates. Great job. Even though we didn't practice this, you did a nice job, so thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the presentation of our nation's colors and the pre-recorded singing of the national anthem by student Allison Forcho.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang loud, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to our junior Air Force ROTC students, and also the beautiful job that Allison did with the national anthem. Thank you so much. You may be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce our distinguished guests and would ask you to hold your applause until the end. From our school committee, the Honorable John Leahy, Mayor and Chairperson. Just give a wave, John. Thank you. Andre Dakota, Vice Chairperson. Hillary Clark, Mike Dillon, Jackie Doherty, Robert Hoey, Connie Martin. From our administration, Dr. Joel Boyd, Superintendent of Schools, Robin Desmond, Chief Academic Officer, Billy Joe Turner, Chief Financial Officer, James Hall, Chief Operating Officer, and Linus Guillory, Chief Schools Officer. I'd also like to introduce our class officers. President Shavin Gashau, Vice President Amina Badi, Secretary Linda Onyanwe, Treasurer Jasmine Singh, and Senator Joy Destiny. Also with us up front are our Carney medalists from B House Kanitha Ork, George Geekus from C House, Terry Nugent from D House, Harpoonit Singh from E House, Mira McPhee from E House, and Nina Fan from E House. I would like to ask our faculty and staff and administration who are present to please stand and be recognized. They're in the back. All the staff are in the back circling around you guys. There's our department chairs and our deans. They're all waving, and staff that are here helping today. Thank you to all of them for their presence and support of all of our students today, and more importantly, over the past 4 years. Thank you, you are the difference makers. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the commencement exercises for the Lowell High School class of 2020. This ceremony is presented by the Lowell School Committee, the Lowell School Department, and Lowell High School to acknowledge the academic achievements and successful completion of the secondary education of the students that are seated before you. This is a very important time in the lives of these young men and women, and we appreciate your presence here this afternoon for this very special event. I want to take time to recognize the collaborative efforts of the many people that made this event possible. I want to stress that we weren't sure for quite a while if we were ever going to be able to hold this graduation. And there were a lot of people that came together under Dr. Joel Boyd's leadership to make this happen. I would like to thank Dr. Boyd for his vision for this ceremony today, and Chief Academic Officer Robin Desmond and Mayor Leahy for their leadership and support, along with the City Manager Eileen Donahue and CFO Connor Baldwin, Sean Smith from the Spinners Organization, the Lowell High School graduation team, the City Graduation Task Force, and we also want to thank the Friends of Lowell High School for all of their help and support leading up to today. Most especially, I want to recognize our Student Activities Coordinator, Tom Thornton, right over there, did a yeoman's amount of work to make this happen. And also, my secretary, who is here somewhere, Sue Francisco. They've been working day and night to make this happen. Thank you also to our maintenance crew who was out here yesterday in 97 degrees setting up these chairs and making sure everything was lined up correctly, getting the stage together. And it truly, truly did take a village to put this event together today for all of you. So thank you to all of them. At this time, I would like to ask any students who are entering military service to please stand and allow us to show our immense gratitude toward you for your future service to our country. I know some have already shipped out. Are there any others here that are going into military service? Thank you. Now I would like to direct your attention to the video board behind me for my address to the graduating class, which has been pre-recorded. Welcome, parents, guardians, friends, and families of the class of 2020. As your head of school, there is no greater privilege than to stand here and share a few remarks with our graduating class, family, and friends. During the past 3 years, I have had the honor of being your head of school. We have been through good times, and we've also pushed through some very challenging times, and I think you all know what I'm talking about. All in all, though, this graduating class has risen to each occasion with determination and grit, because you know that's what makes Lowell High School students stand out and be recognized as extraordinary. Not that I need to remind you, but Lowell High School students are truly remarkable. Our student body hails such an incredible wealth of diversity, not only in their backgrounds and cultures, but diverse thoughts and talents, which far exceed many high schools in the state of Massachusetts. This graduating class has participated in countless hours of community service. Many students have been members of clubs and activities during their 4 years, all of which has helped build a more positive school community. This class of students has been accepted to and plans on attending some of the most prestigious colleges and universities in the country, including Harvard, MIT, Tufts University, and many, many more. We have also some of the most accomplished students in the state and the country, not only academically, but in the arts, athletics, and in our Air Force Junior ROTC program. Among this class are future doctors and lawyers and judges, teachers, actors, singers, pilots, nurses, servicemen and women, including the many unsung heroes who will do the important work that makes our daily lives possible, and much, much more. Class of 2020, I challenge each of you to use your knowledge, skills, experience that you have gained here at Lowell High School to make our world a better place. Hopefully, one that is kinder, and more compassionate. Please also keep in mind that in order to thrive in this world, you need not only the qualities of a good scholar, but a good human being. Good luck to the class of 2020. Go forth and follow your dreams. And as a special teacher friend of mine always says, and now I do too, I love you and I miss you already. Thank you, and may God bless the class of 2020. I am now excited to introduce our salutatorian, Mira McPhee, who is a student from E House and plans to attend George Washington University in the fall. Please turn your attention to the video board to hear Mira's message to the graduating class.
Greetings, family, friends, faculty, and of course the class of 2020. Here we are today. We survived 4 long years of high school. Well, maybe only like 3 3/4 of a year. We made it through many experiences like learning to drive, getting a job, remembering to wear IDs but not our headphones, attending Zoom meetings, and even mastering TikTok. In all seriousness, it is truly an honor to be able to make a speech in front of all of you today. First off, I would like to thank everyone attending and sharing this special moment with us. Administrators, teachers, coaches, and parents, each of you have played an important role in our education and have, in one way or another, helped shape us into the people we have become. You have all had a profound impact on the development of the students that will be graduating today, and I feel it is safe to say that I speak on behalf of my fellow classmates in thanking you for all the efforts that you have invested in us to this day. To the graduating class, we have been through a lot together, from sporting events to performing art shows to grueling exams, and now a global pandemic. 2020 has definitely been a very interesting and trying year for us all, but it only goes to show what a strong and resilient group of unique individuals we are. During quarantine, I've had a lot of time to reflect on the past few years I spent at Lowell High School. They say you don't know what you got till it's gone. I've never really understood that phrase until late March when I was in my room looking at all the remote learning assignments I have yet to do, and I thought to myself, wow, I miss being in school. I miss walking through those crowded tunnels, sitting in the noisy cafeteria, and seeing my friends and teachers every day. Although these difficult circumstances cut my time at Lowell High School a few months short, they also allowed me to gain a new appreciation for all the small moments in life and have taught me a valuable lesson. You should never take anything for granted. The virus may have stolen the last semester of our senior year, but it won't take away the memories we have made, the hard work we put forth, and the futures we have ahead of us. Today is no small feat, and we should all be extremely proud of all the accomplishments we have made thus far. Look at us. We've been hitting it out of the park, rising to the challenges of COVID-19 each and every day by being essential workers, caregivers, and straight-up outstanding human beings during this time of crisis. Our sacrifices and the actions we have taken over the past few months are a true testament of the leaders we have already become. My friends, high school is not the highlight of our lives. It is the end of the first chapter to the rest of our story. I encourage you, the class of 2020, to not only follow the opportunities available to you, but to follow your heart and pursue a passion that is of importance to you. As President Obama recently stated in his address to graduating seniors, we are the future. We have a unique experience that many graduates have not had to face in the past. We have tested our abilities and have overcome many obstacles during this time. Even though the world is filled with extreme uncertainty at the moment, I know one thing for sure. We will come out stronger. We are stronger. Let us accept the challenges to pave a new way for the generations to follow. This may sound cliche, but the sky has no limits. Dream big and go for it. Moving forward, all of us are taking our own paths in life, and everyone here has the power to become successful with hard work and perseverance. For all of us who are going to college, joining the military, or joining the workforce, you will all impact the world with force, determination, ingenuity, innovation, and superior grace. We are Lowell strong, and I cannot wait to hear about all the amazing things you have experienced and accomplished in the years to come. Today is more than saying goodbye to high school. It is a celebration of all the good and bad times, the teachers who have inspired us, the friendships we cherish, and most importantly, it is a celebration of the future that is waiting for all of us. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2020.
Thank you, Mira. Beautiful job. Now, I proudly introduce the Lowell High School class of 2020 valedictorian, George Geekus, who is from C House and plans on attending the University of Massachusetts Lowell in the fall. Please turn your attention to the video board for George's message.
To my class of 2020, I won't lie, focusing on Corona has been tempting and would be easy. With the talk of resiliency and perseverance, it provides for a deep conversation about tough people outlasting tough times. Despite the importance of that, I decided that it's a topic I have heard enough of over the past 5 months. Instead of using my last goodbye to the class I have come to call family to discuss a pandemic, I would instead like to focus on that very sense of family and community. One of the great orators of many years before us was Dr. Martin Luther King. His words during a trying time in our nation still resonate and hold great meaning today. They convey the thoughts and feelings of millions across the country, and I can only hope to use them today in a way that does them justice. Over our 4 years at Lowell High, the bond we've built is something stronger than students sharing a classroom. We've had gas leaks, we've had fights in the cafeteria, we've experienced an era of heightened safety procedures to make sure we know what to do if someone decides to bring a gun to school, but that's another conversation. We've bonded through overcoming the adversity being from Lowell brings. You guys know what I'm talking about. Lowell versus everyone. Within our Lowell High School community, however, we've also had an opportunity to experience what it means to be part of such a diverse family. We've bonded over championship parades in Boston, the school plays, the school projects, school sports, clubs, and activities. What was amazing about Lowell High was being able to tour the world by sitting at a lunch table. Learning about classmates is one of the most rewarding lessons offered at Lowell High School. Now that this community has formed, now that this family is established, it's up to us to maintain it and better ourselves. When you are part of a community, whether that is the Lowell High School community or another in the future, you must remember that there is a fundamental responsibility to do what is right. People will argue this with you. People may disagree, saying it's not your job, not your responsibility to help your struggling neighbor. You have your own responsibilities, they may say. You can help others out of the kindness of your heart, but it's not a responsibility. To this I then ask, when did being okay with seeing a neighbor or brother, sister struggle become the new norm? Why must it take a special exception to help someone who's struggling? The more I learn about my community, the more I understand that sometimes the circumstances people find themselves in are no fault of their own. Corona is a perfect example of this. Dr. King once said, "The time is always right to do what is right." Yes, it is. It should not take pity, peer pressure, or a camera to help someone out. Kind-heartedness must replace self-centeredness whenever possible. Let's find our way back to focusing on helping thy neighbor. We need to recalibrate our moral compass. Dr. King once said that in the end we will not remember the words of our enemies but the silence of our friends. To me, you are all my friends. In life we will make friends and we will make enemies, I understand that. But do not lie idle while our communities struggle. We've worked too hard to strengthen bonds that can dissolve by turning a blind eye. Dr. King once said, "I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear." Why must we weigh our lives down with the weight of despising the actions of others? If we lead lives free of hate, I promise to you that so many of today's problems would be solved. I promise that that moral compass will recalibrate without our even realizing. Lastly, my favorite thing Dr. King once said was that darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Love and appreciate one another. Our class, our generation, will be tasked with leading a country that still struggles with social issues. Loving one another and replacing our hate with love will not be easy for all of us. You cannot simply go from hating people straight to loving them. I understand that is likely impossible. Instead, if you hate people, I ask you to try to be impartial towards them. This impartiality may remain constant, or it may turn into liking them. Either option is better than hate, and without that weight of hate you may carry, your capacity for caring about and helping others grows larger. No one becomes successful alone. I would not yet call myself successful, but I have gotten this far from pushing those around me to be the best possible version of themselves. This, in turn, has allowed me to grow into the best possible version of myself. Helping each other grow is fundamental to our community, and as we become adults will be fundamental to our nation. So extend that helping hand. One final quote of Dr. King's I would like to add is, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" I hope we all strive to be able to answer that question on any given day for the rest of our lives. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure. I love you guys.
Thank you, George, for that inspiring speech. It is with great pleasure that I now introduce to you the Lowell High School President of the senior class, Shavin Gashau. Please turn your attention to the video board for Ms. Shavin's message.
Fellow students, teachers, staff, family, and loved ones of the class of 2020, my name is Shavin Gashau. I feel very honored to be addressing you all, and I'm especially proud of my peers for your accomplishments. Throughout the year, many of you have made it clear that you are excited to hear my speech. I felt fortunate to have so much support from you all as a class, especially since something like this would have been unimaginable when I first walked into the freshman academy. In my head, I have so much to say today, but a general theme I want to speak about is gratitude, because throughout the year, gratitude has been a way to keep me grounded through all the chaos. Gratitude was never as important this year as it was when COVID-19 abruptly ended our senior year. I, like many of you, was devastated. Just thinking about all the memories and moments that could have been made my heart ache. But it was the spirit of gratitude that took me out of the darkness. It made me see that we might have missed all the traditional senior events, but I am grateful for the moments and memories that we had before we left school. I have so much gratitude for the way our class tried to move forward, even when all the memes were coming for us. As I have watched everyone announce their plans for the fall, I have so much gratitude for the optimism and strength our class has and what is to come. So I thank you, class of 2020. Thank you for the 4 years I got to spend learning and growing with all of you. Thank you for teaching me that where you come from does not determine where you will go. Some of you have begun making your own story of triumph in your family just by sitting in those seats and holding a diploma, and a round of applause for doing so. Thank you for teaching me that there's wisdom in diversity, not only diversity in skin color, but diversity of our minds. Thank you for inspiring me with all your different talents and interests, because among us are entrepreneurs, designers, doctors, lawyers, artists, activists, and everything in between. Thank you for teaching me that in the face of adversity, we as graduates of Lowell High School will rise above it and never quit. I wouldn't say that we're going into the real world because we've already been facing it. We're just doing it full time now. As we enter adulthood, the cliche thing to say is, be the change you want to see in the world. But a quote I've been hearing often is, decisions are made by those who show up. So I ask all of you to show up. In jobs, functions, protests, even in day-to-day life, change is not made by those who sit back, but those who get up. And being such an innovative, forward-thinking generation, the least you could do for those who came before you, those around you, and those to come is for you to show up when you can and use your voice. Most of us have not grown up privileged and have seen how some systems in this unjust world are set against us. However, we have also seen how our voices challenge these systems, bringing change even at Lowell High School. This year, the world is getting revolutionaries who will do their absolute best to hold everything and everyone accountable for their actions, as well as setting higher expectations. I've seen us do it during a pandemic, so I would imagine we'll continue doing so. I expect you all to continue with this bold quality wherever life takes you. Again, I'm excited to see and hear all the amazing things you will all achieve. It is my honor to be your chosen president, and I ask you all to always have the spirit of gratitude as it changes perspective as well as welcomes more blessings, and to remember that decisions are made by those who show up. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shavin. So at this time, the superintendent and I would like to acknowledge this year's Carney medalists. The Carney medals were established in 1859 and have been presented annually to the top 3 female and the top 3 male scholars in the graduating class. This year's recipients are Kenitha Ork, George Geekus, Terry Nguyen, Harpunit Singh, Mira McPhee, and Nita Penn. Right now, I would like to take a moment and recognize the B House Carney medalist, who you may read more about her and all the Carney medalists in the bios in your graduation program. So Kenitha, if you could please stand. Thank you. Kenitha Ork is the daughter of Palin Ork and Sokang Jen. She attended the Daly Middle School. Kenitha was a Latin Lyceum student who excelled in math and science. She was also, in the Honors Night ceremony, received the Dartmouth Alumni Club Book Award, the Harvard Prize Book Award, and in her senior year, she received the Peter Stamus Scholarship and the United American Energy Scholarship. Kenitha was a member of the Outdoor Adventure Club and the International Language Club. She has been a member of the crew team since the 9th grade. Kenitha became part of the National Honor Society in her junior year. Outside of school, Kenitha volunteers weekly at the Lowell Humane Society. Kenitha attributes her success to her friends, her family, and all of her teachers from elementary school to high school. She believes that without any one of these people, she wouldn't be who she is today. Congratulations, Kenitha. We are so proud of you. Thank you. One thing I wanted to mention is some of you might be wondering about the videos. Because we could only have one person on a microphone at a time, and we only had 2 microphones, that was why we decided to do the video. So I just wanted to explain that to you so you know why we had to do that. At this time, I would like to draw your attention to the video board for remarks from our superintendent, Dr. Joel Boyd.
Congratulations, class of 2020. We've had to wait a little longer than any of us would have liked to have this ceremony, and safety precautions still require me to share my congratulations via video. But I'm excited that we are able to celebrate this momentous occasion in person. When you started your time at Lowell High School as freshmen, no one could have predicted that you'd be finishing your courses your senior year remotely due to a global pandemic. But you've persevered, and I know that each and every one of you are leaving Lowell High School with the knowledge, skills, and experiences you need to be successful wherever you are heading next, whether it's entering college, starting an exciting new job, or serving in the military. Now, I know no one comes to graduation excited to hear a long speech from the superintendent, and the best advice anyone ever gave me when speaking was to always remember 3 things: be bright, be brief, and be gone. Since this is a graduation ceremony, in order to be bright in your speech, you're supposed to share a quote from a famous author or philosopher. So for the class of 2020, I have a quote from the great Oprah Winfrey, who says, "Let excellence be your brand. When you are excellent, you become unforgettable. Doing the right thing, even when nobody knows you're doing the right thing, will always bring the right thing to you." I'm going to make sure I'm brief by ending my remarks here. But before I'm gone, let me say it one more time. Congratulations, class of 2020. Today is your day. Celebrate with your family and friends. Cherish your memories from Lowell High School. Your dreams are within reach. And remember, Lowell High School is a family. While you are now leaving your time as a student, I hope you view your school as part of your extended family and continue to come back to visit your teachers and classmates and to serve your community. As you know, the class of 2020 is my first graduating class as Lowell superintendent, and you will always hold a special place in my heart. I'm going to miss you in the halls of Lowell High, but I know there's greatness in every one of you, and I'm excited to see all that you accomplish in this world. The future is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd. Next, we have a message from the Mayor of the City of Lowell, John Leahy.
Good day, class of 2020. I am humbled to be here today to deliver words of congratulations on behalf of the City of Lowell and me. This year, in pursuit of your educational goals, you have endured so much to arrive here. By every standard, 2020 has been an extremely difficult year, especially for those of you who have missed milestones and traditions such as senior proms, athletic seasons, and ceremonies that will never be replaced. Each of you should be very proud of your perseverance and your accomplishments through these trying times. Whether your future includes work, the military, college, or another path, I hope that you can look back to your diploma as proof of your abilities to communicate, adapt, and learn. Now, if there's one message I could give you to keep forever, It is that all of you here today have the tall task of holding yourselves to a higher standard than those who came before you. The current crisis has served as an unfortunate reminder that there are many in this country and around the world who look at their own interests before the well-being of others. Today, I challenge you to be better. No matter where you are from, where you may go, the world needs you to strive to be better than the average. We all must be better, not necessarily smarter, stronger, or louder, but more compassionate, more impartial, and more kind. I say this because I have faith that you can do this. Your generation is more connected and empathetic than any before you. This is no easy charge, but it applies to each and every one of you, no matter where you're headed in life. I wish you happiness and success as you take the next first steps to your next adventure. Remember the core values of Lowell High School: responsibility, integrity, determination, engagement, and respect. This will serve you well wherever your future brings you. I leave you with the wise words of Nelson Mandela: it is in your hands to create a better world for all who live in it. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Thank you, Mayor Leahy. And our last speaker is our commencement speaker, Congresswoman Laurie Lorero Trahan, a proud graduate of Lowell High School, class of 1991, who was inducted as a Lowell High School Distinguished Alumni in 2019. You may read Laurie's complete bio, which is located on the back page of your program. Unfortunately, Congresswoman Laurie Trahan could not be here with us today, but we are grateful she was able to share a message with our graduates. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Laurie Trahan, and thank you for inviting me to be part of this momentous occasion in your lives. I grew up in the Highlands section of Lowell. I went to the Maury, the Daly, and I graduated from Lowell High. And now I have the privilege of representing our community in the United States Congress. That's why I couldn't let this moment pass by without sending a big congratulations to all of you graduating today. I know these last few weeks have not been easy, or how you imagined celebrating this achievement with your family and your friends. Your class will long be remembered as one of the most resilient in our nation's history. Although we're in the midst of a tremendous amount of uncertainty as a nation, one thing remains true, and it's each of you, the graduates of 2020, who will define our future and accelerate long overdue changes to our nation. That means we need you to lean into conversations about what's going on in your community, and it means making your voices heard in public and at the ballot box when you're getting more lip service than results from politicians. I truly believe that our young people are our country's strongest asset, and I'm not alone. Attending Lowell High School taught me to be curious, inclusive, and outspoken, traits I rely on every day. Whether you realize it or not, it has shaped you, made you stronger and better prepared to enter a world full of surprises. While it may be intimidating to enter what feels like a volatile world, I challenge all of you to embrace it as an opportunity to define your community, your country, and your generation. I hope that you are entering this new chapter of your life with the same excitement and optimism that everyone in our community feels for you today. I know that I speak for everyone across our community when I say that we are all so proud of you for the achievements that got you here today. We're going to be cheering you on and supporting you every step of the way. Graduates, congratulations and good luck.
Thank you, Congresswoman Trahan. Before we start with the presentation of diplomas, I did want to take a moment to thank our media producer, Brian Wilkins, who's back in the dugout with his team that produced all the videos and have worked with the UMass Lowell team to make this happen today. He's been at it for weeks, and I really appreciate it. So thank you, Brian, and your team. And Connor, back there, I see you. Thank you. So now we are at the part you're all probably waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. So I would like to welcome Mayor Leahy to the stage. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to present to you the B House students of the class of 2020, and to further certify that those receiving a diploma have successfully met the requirements of graduation as prescribed by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and as mandated by the Lowell School Committee. Therefore, I ask that you, Mayor Leahy, join me on the stage to recognize and congratulate each member of the class of 2020, of course, following safety guidelines. We'd love to shake your hand like we usually do, but we can't do that. When you do come up to the stage, just a couple things that you need to know. First, I'm going to start with Kanitha, our Carney medalist. She'll be first, and then each row will start coming up. You're going to come up the ramp on this side. You're going to come to the middle, and you're going to stand there, and the photographer's going to take your picture. All right, so there's a couple of steps right there. You'll just stand right there. Photographer will take your picture. Then you're going to grab, hold on. Then you're going to grab a scroll. Mrs. Callahan's going to hand you the scroll. She's got gloves on, so don't worry about that. And then you're going to walk across the stage and then line back up into your chairs. Okay, you guys ready? I think so. So first, I would like to start Kanitha Ork. I think I said it wrong. You're coming up on that side, sorry, and going across this way. At this time, all of the graduates of B House will be recognized in alphabetical order. I would like to invite House Dean Deidre Haley to the podium.
Thank you. Mira mentioned TikTok in her speech tonight, and so a little quote from TikTok that I've been dying to finally say, I've been waiting for this. Congratulations to B House, class of 2020. I'm going to be saying all of your names, so some of your friends who aren't here tonight, their name will be called as well. Rashid Abdo, Hisham Omar Adam, Christopher Agudelo, Mustafa Al-Hado, Timothy Allen, Aaliyah Andino, Ariel Arias Eve, Pui Puint Ong, Amina Bangora, Fatsule Bangora, Matthew Beeland, Austin Beaumill, Deshay Bouchoun, Siv May Bioy, Nicholas Cardoso, Esiris Castillo, Iori Castro Nunez, Dory Castro, Chloe Chantompale, Richmond Chia, Pisay Cheng, Kantiati Chung, Terrence Chung, Valerie Chim, Anastasia Marie Cleveland, Shamalin Concepcion, William Correa, Alexia Maria Cummings, Vincent Dalmaso, Emily Perez DeAndrade, Junior Antonio De Los Santos. No, I know, I don't have it there. We'll hug later. Jordan Augusto De Oliveira, Isaiah De La Cruz, Lucas Dozol de Moras, Elhaj Omar Diallo, Abigail Dorismond, Nathan Don Reyes Pinheiro, Ana Dutra Pacheco, Sajad Fatlawi, Kiara Felix, Justin Fernandez Wood, Linda Flama, John Garcia, Alexa Geraldo, Mara Rosa Gonzalez, Zane Green, Negam Gurung, Delwin Antonio Gonzalez Gutierrez, Eftimia Hemagorgas, Soklakina Mercedes Hem, Kim Lee Heng, Kamel Hernandez, Tyler Hoey, Alexia Huth, Fiona Elizabeth Hungate, Sonia Hun, Isabella Ibarra, Jessica Jackson. Okay, we're gonna hug. Emerline Estefani Jerez, Nakama Precious Kamara, Keith Kemau, Lily Cow, Farah Kasongo, Hannah Sophia Kierstead, Damian Keogh, Ty William Keogh, Angelina Kiem, Isaac Kim, Kayla Kun, Natalie Kim, Kayla Kim Mwangabong, Richmond Kwateng, Michelle Lam, Pat Diu Lang, Nicole Lazaro, Sarak Lay, Ethan Lee, Michaela Libby, Sarah Lopez, Skyla Lombard, Kimberly Mai, Tanisha Kiara Morellis, João Marquez, Katerina Martelucci, Anastasia Macias, Kelsey Mbone. Molly Margaret McAnespie. Anthony McFarlane. Shakayla McKinney. Paola Lola Medina. Elsie Veronica Marigildo. Asalia Marambo. Mia Morales. Mutesi Muiza. Kemrak Nang. Shrey Nang. Trish Nun. Lisa Nguyen. Min Nguyen. Tony Nguyen. Trung Tran Nguyen. Victoria Noguera. Danielle Normandin. Keith Noom. Cedric Noy. Emily Oburn. Alice Obare. Ashley Marie Ortiz. Nalia Ortiz. Adriana Otero. Peter Sang U. Mona Lisa Pace. Miguel J. Pacheco. Hector Julius Padilla. Vasilios Panagiotopoulos. Sophia Pasquale. Shivani Patel. Yash Patel. Erica Penn. Luis Fernando Perez. Tyrell Sam Paul. Camry Ponosuxium. Vivian Ponosuxium. Rhodesia Polanco. Austin Gabriel Potter. Olivia Lauren Procope. Arthur James Quattrochi. George Michael Quinones Reyes. Milo Ramirez. Nicole Ramirez. Caden Ramos. Amahapon Hannah Ratana. Jacqueline Lee Resendez. Andres Abram Restrepo. Alexander Rios. Eliza Rivera. Judy Marie Rivera. Wilmer Salvador Rodriguez. Sonny Alexander Rosa. Maruf Salam. Autumn Rose Salfiti. Charity Sao. Cameron Seneshiame. Luke Silva. Kundani Sin, Taya Sinkler, Nathaniel Siao. I'm glad you're here. Samarak Sisawa, Kevin Snow. Ethan Solinger. Semnang Sun, Sovatha Som, Drashti Soni, Kevin Shri. Musoke Segoya. Michaela Stubbs. Ronnie Sun. Arjun Tamnang. Thidalis Theapana. Michaela Thelen. Tikara Tebolt. Timothy Thorne. Hung Kim Tu. Kathy Tran. Kiam Tran. Kevin Nguyen Truong. Paige Olivia Underwood. Kai Very. Mona Lisa Visna. Travis Vieng. Abraham Washira. Solomon Wambuzi, Samantha Weigold, Delaney Lynn Wilson, Claudia Zvethethi, Eileen Yim. Lastly, Anna Young. Congratulations, B House 2020.
Thank you, Dean Haley. At this time, we would like all graduates to stand. Please move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you to our guests for joining us for this special event. As a reminder, all students need to exit the way they came into the park, and guests should leave the way they also came in. Please maintain your social distancing. We have another graduation coming in, so we ask people to move immediately out of the park. And I wish you a wonderful day and evening as you celebrate this graduation. Thank you, everyone.
Treat, 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 treat.